Hey everyone, it's me, Gretchen Rubin, co-host of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast, and I'm going to be joined in a moment by my sister and co-host Elizabeth Kraft. But while I'm waiting for her to join, please tell us where you're watching from and what's something you got done this weekend that you wanted to get done, because it's great to see what everybody got done. So now I'm going to wait for Elizabeth to join, and there she is. Oh, we did it so smoothly. Here she goes. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, Branford. Thumbs up. People got stuff done.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Rock Wyoming. Wow. New Zealand.
Okay, Maine.
Los Angeles. Excellent.
Oh, the UK. They've just gotten new restrictions there.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Oh, wow. Someone organized their closet.
Oh, that's good. Oh, they got that done. Someone says, I'm still working. Went to Trader Joe's. Oh, that's good. Scraping down wallpaper from a plaster wall. That's a major thing. That sounds like a good thing to be doing these days. How about you, Elizabeth? What'd you get done this weekend?
What did I get done? I finished Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah.
Should I tell you, Gretchen, about the little picnic we had?
Yeah, that's such a great idea. I thought this was a really fun kind of hack, try this at home kind of
Mom
thing.
just said hi. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hey, Mom.
Mom and I Zoomed this morning, so that was very exciting.
Okay, good.
But yeah, Jack and Adam and I, we really wanted an outing. So we got drive-through food and we went to the top of Mulholland, which is like a famous, street in LA that has amazing views. And we just pulled over and we ate our dinner in the car. Yeah. And that was our outing.
I feel like that's the vista that's in a lot of movies where like they dramatically go to the top and they have this intense conversation or somebody gets shot or something. And it's like,
exactly.
Here's Los Angeles. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun thing to do. Well, that's a great thing to have done in your weekend. Yeah. So if you're just joining us, I'm Gretchen Rubin and this is
Elizabeth Kraft.
Yeah. And we're from the Happier podcast. And so tell us where you're watching from. Oh, Cali, Colombia. And what you got done. Oh, someone said I took a nap. What you got done this weekend. Yes, I took a nap too. So well done, both of us.
What did you get done, Gretch?
I read a lot. So I read a lot of books and so that felt good. I mean, I read a lot of like 2 books and that felt good. Oh, I think Elizabeth just dropped out. That's weird. Let me see if I can join her again. Elizabeth, join again. That's odd. What else did I get done? Well, there she is again. That was weird. I did not do something that I really wanted to do and I really have been meaning to do forever, which is to watch Mad Men. Hey, you're back.
I don't know why it just popped off, so I'm popping back on.
Yeah, I had meant to watch the first 2 episodes of Mad Men. I don't know why I'm resisting Mad Men. I will do Mad Men. How about you? Is there anybody, like, let us know, is there something, put it in the comments, is there something that you know you should be doing, but that you're just resisting it for some reason? Whether it's, there's just something where you're like, this is my time, this is my opportunity, and yet I just am not doing it. I think there is something weird about this time where maybe you don't want to push yourself to do something that for whatever reason you sort of dread.
Oh, Gretch, someone did their Facts of Life binder. I have to give a big gold star.
Huge. That's huge.
Here's what I'm resisting: a lot of organizing. I think, I don't know, someone said, there's so many funny or profound, there's a range of memes going around. And someone said, like, you don't have to be your most productive during a global pandemic. And there is some truth to that. I mean, I want to get things done, but at the same time, I don't think we should beat ourselves up if we're not doing everything we want to do. Those of us who are lucky enough to be safe at home. And
yet there's
still a big deal.
I mean, yet I do feel like there's a tension because I feel like on the one hand, we want to go easy on ourselves. But on the other hand, I think that we feel more comforted and more kind of reassured and in control of ourselves over the long run when we do feel like, well, we are getting some things done, or we are not just letting, just sort of saying, well, this is an emergency, so I'm not going to try to, I think there is something like over time, it is reassuring. to kind of whittle away at these things. But you're exactly right. I mean, no, it's not the same for anyone. And then like people have little kids at home. That's a totally different story.
That's just, that is just completely absorbing.
Or somebody who's a healthcare worker or is like in the household with a healthcare worker. There's just so many variations. But yeah, someone says it's nice to have goals. I think that's right. I think it is nice to feel like I'm using my time productively, or like there's so many things that I'm not doing, but I am doing some things. Someone says I have a 6 and an 8-year-old. Yeah. I mean, Marie condo house. Yeah. So I think you're right. We do need to be realistic.
I'm trying to do, I am doing my to-do list every day, which is new for me, so that I do get some things done. And I am putting small things on, like a load of laundry is on my to-do list. Because I'm like, I can get that done, but I might not if it's not written down, but yet it's eminently doable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Someone says it's hard to be a lone parent working from home.
Oh,
absolutely. Now, here's one thing I would be curious to know. Let us know in the comments if you've tried this in some way, participated in this, and how you've done it, which is virtual babysitting. Because I've talked to some people who have done this, and of course it depends on the age of the child, and it depends on, their kind of their temperaments and everything. But this does seem to me to be something where if the kids will sit and listen to a story, if they will play Simon Says when you're playing Simon, if they'll, do a performance for you. Like my little kids love to perform, and they would perform like the same meaningless 45-minute monologue. I mean, forever. Yeah. And that seems to me to be something where it's like you're in the house with them. So it's not like you've gone off to work. You're in the next room. And another adult could text you or whatever, or call you, or just yell to you from the iPad.
Yeah.
But it does seem like that could be a way to kind of snatch either a break or get some time to concentrate. So I'd be curious to know if anybody, taking care of my 1-year-old, if someone is, if somebody has had that.
The couple of people are commenting that they are thinking of adjusting their 20 for 20 lists, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Well, now you have your 19 for COVID-19 list.
Yes, that's right.
Well, somebody pointed out to me, so in the Jewish tradition, 18 is like the auspicious number. Like if you give money to somebody for a bar bat mitzvah, you always give it in a multiple of 18.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think 18 means life. Somebody, I meant to look this up actually. Somebody in the comments remind me of why that is. But anyway, 18 is good. And I was like, 19 to me feels like now an inauspicious number. It felt inauspicious before anyway, because it's just like, what is 19? I don't know, but now it's COVID-19. But 18 feels like an auspicious number. So, and it is an auspicious number according to Jewish tradition. So I was thinking like maybe there's something to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. I love but so people are doing their 19 for 20, their 19 for COVID-19. Or adjusting.
Someone is asking, what is the list? The list is, we do like 18 for 2018, 19 for 2019, 20 for 20. And these are lists of things you just want to do throughout the year. It's things you actively want to do. It doesn't have to be anything deep, or it can be deep. It's up to you. And we have our COVID, our 19 for COVID-19, or 18 plus 1, if you want to say, Gretchen.
Yes, that's right. That's yeah. A lot of the things on my 20 for 20, I can't do. I was going to go to the Met every day.
Right.
Can't do that. I was going to have a scent party and a taste party. I can't do that, at least now. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, it just, anything that involves like travel or a large group, maybe maybe in a few months we'll be able to do those things, but it's just unknown right now.
Yeah. Oh, somebody says we have rotated through family members doing story time with a 4-year-old on FaceTime. See, that's a great idea. And by the way, if you want to know about the 20 for 20 and all that, we talked about it on episode 255 of the podcast. Oh yeah, it's chai, which means life in Hebrew. Okay, so 18. Yeah, so that's what the 18 is, the numerical equivalent to the word for life. Yes. Oh, thank you for that. Good.
Someone postponed a New York trip with their son. I also postponed a New York trip. Right.
And I postponed a trip to LA.
Yes.
So, Yes,
So twice.
we are traveling to all the hot spots. New
I
Orleans
know.
is next, yes. Yeah. Oh, is Jamie's family Jewish? Yes, Jamie's family is Jewish. If so, do you follow any Jewish traditions? We are what a friend of mine called holiday both, meaning we celebrate the holidays with the respective grandparents. So we have Christmas with my family, and we have Rosh Hashanah with Jamie's parents. And that's how we do it. So, and then I live in New York. So of course, there's there's a huge amount of like just Jewish tradition and Jewish culture is just very, it was prevalent here. Even if you're not married to somebody Jewish, as I am. Someone says there's a lot of online museums right now. Here's the thing. My going to the Met every day, a lot of it was about the art, but a lot of it was just about going to the space. I think most of it was, for me, was about the physical experience of going to the space. So an online thing isn't really, like, that is not scratching my particular itch. I think it's wonderful that they have these things, and I know a lot of people are really getting into it. It's not what I wanted to do, so I'm having to kind of rethink that.
But it's almost, Gretchen, like it's part of the experience is this experience.
Yes,
that's, you know, I mean,
reframe. You are the queen of reframing, Elizabeth.
But it's true. It just plays into the whole year, you know. So, and how happy will you be when it reopens and you can go back?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be going to the Met every day for the rest of my life, because I thought I kind of had decided that anyway. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I realize what a treasure it is. Sometimes the way everybody in the world has noticed this throughout time, which is sometimes the only way that you notice how much something's important to you is when you lose it. But back to the virtual babysitting, someone writes, my mom is 2 hours away and over 70 years old. And we've started since the lockdown to read to my son via FaceTime, and they are really bonding and loving it, and gives my husband and me time together.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it is really a win-win-win, where it's time for a grandchild and a grandparent to be together. The adults have a little time of their own. It's really is a great opportunity. Yeah. Oh, somebody else postponed a trip. Yeah. How many people postponed a trip?
I was supposed to be on my spring break trip to Hawaii right now.
Yes.
When I woke up this morning, I imagined that Hawaiian air I would have been smelling. Again, I'm very lucky, not complaining. I'm fine where I am. Giving up a trip to Hawaii is a very small thing in the scheme of this situation.
Yeah. So
nonetheless, I would prefer to be in Hawaii.
Yeah. I was going to be going to Iceland of all places, which I was very excited about because I've never been to Iceland. So if anybody's watching from Iceland, I hope to visit your country one day because it sounds super cool.
Oh, someone was going to go on a local baby moon.
Oh, yeah.
That's too bad. And someone else commented that they can't see, that they are expecting a grandchild and they can't go see their son and daughter-in-law in Brooklyn. So that is a bummer for people who have these big life events.
Well, you know, I was starting to think that it's like public catastrophe, private calamity, personal loss. So it's like there's the world crisis, which we all recognize that is by far the most important thing and dwarfs any individual experience. Then there's the private thing. And then there's just the individual loss, which is like my daughter not finishing her junior year in college. Like, you not going to Hawaii. It's of course we recognize that in the scheme of things, how minor it is and how fortunate it is that that's the scale on which we're experiencing things. And I think that's part of what's confusing about this time. And I don't know if anybody else is feeling like this, because it's very hard to find perspective. It's very hard to take perspective. The perspective is so monumental and kind of unknown at this time. So it's hard to kind of calibrate that thinking, I think, which is why I think I keep wanting to bring it down to the concrete and what can I control inside like the four walls of my own apartment, because that gives me a perhaps irrational yet very reassuring feeling of control.
Oh, somebody was supposed to be in Disney World this week. So that's a big trip.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. And
somebody said actually 3 trips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at all these. Yeah, trip to Spain. My husband's Columbia MBA graduation will probably be canceled in May. Yeah, I think, I was going to go to Atlantis. Oh yeah, skipping skiing. Yeah, there's a lot of things. A cruise, yeah, that's not happening. Vegas. I was just in Las Vegas. Yeah, I know it is.
I feel for Vegas. That's rough for them. Oh, a couple of people had a 10th anniversary trip that's been canceled. Someone, Gretchen, suggested I could watch Hawaiian beaches like online, which would be
yes,
soothing.
Or maybe like you should have, because remember, I think it was on Friday, we had a super fun discussion of like, if you were going to have like a theme, if you're going to watch like the original Star Wars trilogy, you're going to watch Audrey Hepburn movies, you're going to watch Bill Murray movies or whatever. Maybe you should do like, aren't there like Hawaii? Oh, and one of your favorite books is Hawaii. Maybe you can watch or was that a mini series that was Hawaii a long time, like in the 80s or 90s?
It might have been. I've never seen it. If so, I should look. I'm going to look that up. Some mom friends and I, not because of my trip, but just because our spring break was starting, had a Hawaiian themed Zoom night.
Well, there you go.
So what did I wore a necklace that you get in Hawaii, and I had on a hat and sunglasses, and people were wearing. One person actually wore a bikini over her clothes.
Oh, that's funny.
It was very funny. People were wearing leis, like a whole bunch of leis that they had collected. People had drinks with little umbrellas.
I'm really getting into it. That's such good spirit.
I know, it was so much fun. I mean, you know, you're still at the end of the day, like sitting in front of a phone, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Which brings us to something to think about, and it's the challenge for tomorrow, which is to connect with somebody that you haven't already connected with. Because I think probably a lot of us have gone through, we've checked in with our family, we've checked in with like our good friends or like the people that we're usually in contact with. But then there are the other people who might be just as dear to you or even more dear, but that you're sort of not in the habit of communicating with regularly. And so what I've been trying to do is every day kind of think about, well, who is sort of, I have like a lot of weird pockets of people who don't necessarily overlap with each other. So I can kind of forget about like a whole group of people. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what about that group of people?
Right.
And so I think, and it's very energizing every single time to check in with these people. And so I would say my challenge for tomorrow is to think of somebody who you haven't yet connected with. And for different people, different forms are the right way. Some people you would email, some people you would text, some people maybe you would actually old-fashioned call, maybe you'd even send a postcard. I don't know. But I do think that the more, what I'm hearing, Lissa, I think this is definitely the experience that you and I have had, but then seems to be very widely shared, is that the people who are really making a big effort to keep their social contacts up are really feeling a lot more supported.
Yeah.
And I think even safer, even though that's really not rational, I think you do feel safer when you feel like you have your people around you, even virtually.
Yes.
And so have people found like so I think your idea of like the theme night Zoom is great. In the last few days, I've set up Zoom meetings with my adult book group, my 2 children's literature book groups, and a group of my friends from high school.
That's great.
I'm like, I can't invite people. I don't know how to do that, but I'm like, I'm not going to invite them, but if you guys would be up for it, would somebody do it? And always, I think you just need somebody to get the ball rolling.
Well, and that's why, Gretchen, I have to give Mom props because she figured out the Zoom and invited me into a Zoom meeting this morning.
See, there you go. It takes effort to use these tools. So how many people have thumbs up if you have learned to use a tool that you didn't know how to use before? I give myself a thumbs up because I learned how to use Zoom in a different way. I had used Zoom to do like podcast interviews, but I hadn't been doing Zoom to do these I was in a Zoom meeting with 20 other people the other night, and I had not known how to do that.
Yeah. I've definitely Zoom, house party, even multiple people on Facebook. I mean, FaceTime, I learned this morning.
Yeah.
A friend of mine coached me through that.
Can you have more than one person in FaceTime at a time?
You can. Yes. I don't know how many, but you can. I've been on with at least 6 people. Yeah.
See, I want to try that. Oh, Zoom virtual backgrounds. Oh my gosh, my daughter was showing me this.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
Yes. And you can put any picture, anything you want. Yeah. In fact, I did a virtual background in Zoom of a picture of the vegetables I cooked because I was very proud of my vegetables. That was my background. Someone, Gretch, said their theme night was they have tea. They do a tea on Zoom once a week with friends.
Oh, that's good. Well, someone said something very interesting that as an introvert, this was too much. And I have to say, I know what you feel like. I'm an ambivert, and I was thinking as I was walking this morning, I don't have any time alone anymore. Like when there's no one around, and I'm starting to feel that pressure. And I'm not tremendously introverted, and I bet for a lot of introverts it's hard, and I bet for a lot of introverts the idea that like everything has to be sort of set up in this way and be kind of like an official encounter. It's not like just the companionship that you get from like people working in the same common workspace or something. I'd be curious how many people are introverts who feel like, I mean, you might think, oh, I'm home, so it's like I don't have to go out all the time, so that'd be easier. But in a way, this is a different kind of pressure.
A lot of people are feeling that already, Gretchen. People are chiming in.
Okay, yeah, totally agree. Me too. Yeah.
A funny LA thing is, I don't know, you know, in Los Angeles, we're famous for flaking on plans. Do you know that? That's like, oh, LA people are famous for like just making a plan is considered the same as seeing someone. There's an understanding that plan will never actually happen.
Okay, yeah.
And so my friend tweeted like, well, it's happened. The first official Zoom flake. Okay. So now people are flaking on Zoom. They can't even make, you know, they're like, okay, we'll make a Zoom date and then I'll flake and then it'll be like we did it.
We'll be like we did. Oh, that's
very LA.
Well, it's funny because my mother-in-law and I always, I think it might have been a New Yorker cartoon. My favorite plans are canceled plans.
Yes.
And there was a point where I came downstairs. I said to Jamie, I'm like, literally all I have done today is cancel, 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 delete. On my calendar, it was like, this is coming off. This is coming off. I'm like, it's not as fun as it was. But yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having to cancel isn't, that's a really interesting point.
Well, this is so interesting about all the people missing their alone time. So I think this is one of the reasons why I've been so desperate to go for a walk. But then often when I go walk, I talk to somebody on the phone because and so then I'm like, well, so maybe I need to stop using the walk for that time because maybe that's part of why I'm not experiencing it as time alone because I'm really not alone.
Gretch, everyone is asking, can you explain what an ambivert is?
Oh, okay.
You and I both are ambiverts.
Yeah. Now I feel confident in saying that I'm an ambivert because Susan Cain, who is the writer of the super famous book, Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. She's kind of the person who made the introvert extrovert distinction like something really a subject of major focus. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. It's called Quiet. So she is a friend of mine, and she told me that she thought I described myself to her, and she said that she, just from knowing me, she would say that I was an ambivert. And so the introvert extrovert, it's about how do you get your energy. So introverts get their energy from being alone and kind of recharging. They might love to see other people, but they tend to like to do things in smaller groups, and they tend to need a lot of time in solitude to recharge. Extroverts tend to get their energy from going out and from engaging with other people, and they often like large groups, and they often aren't exhausted by seeing like person after person after person. And so, Lissa, you and I are ambiverts in that we really get energy from being out and other people, and we really seek that. And yet then we also need time to recharge on our own. And both of our work lives, I think, are very much kind of show that in that we found ways to, I think you're more on the extrovert and I'm more on the introvert, but we're both in the middle.
Yes, so I did take Susan Cain's quiz.
Oh, you did?
Online, yes.
Oh, so did she have a quiz online? I didn't know that. Okay.
I believe it was hers. Yes.
Oh, see, this is interesting. Somebody says, I'm single and an introvert, and I love this. I'm working from home, and I'm not at all going crazy. See, this is the thing. It's probably a lot easier for introverts right now because they do get so much more energy from being alone. I'm an extrovert becoming acting introvert now. I mean, it's sort of the thing. Yes, I miss having the house, my workspace to myself. Yeah, I'm really missing my alone time. Yes. Well,
someone's saying what quiz? I'm not sure. This was a few years ago. But maybe try Googling, Susan Cain introvert extrovert quiz and see if something comes up.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone says, I'm an extreme introvert. I started out feeling at ease. Now I feel a constant mild anxiety. Well, I think that's because even introverts need to have connection with other people. And
Yeah.
they've shown that even introverts like do get a little boost from engaging with someone else, even someone like a store clerk or something. And we just don't have that in our days anymore. We don't have those like little kind of companionable moments.
Right.
If you're just joining, I'm Gretchen Rubin, and this is
Happier with Gretchen Rubin. Oh, and I'm Elizabeth
Yeah.
Craft.
Yeah. Right. So we're doing this conversation, and right now we're talking about the question of reaching out to other people, using new tools. What new tools have you discovered to help you connect with people? And are you missing your alone time? If you need time alone, are you feeling, or if you're alone, like, do you feel out of balance in terms of your, because I think that's also why people are reaching out for companionships. We're all trying to kind of recalibrate how much engagement, what that would look like. How do you reconfigure it for the
and as you said, Gretchen, when you said you think you feel safer, I think there is, because it's so chaotic and scary and all these things, you reach out to people you love. It makes you feel more grounded. You see they're okay. It's comforting. Their faces are comforting. You know, it's just it makes a lot of sense that you need those touchstones.
Yes. And especially if it can be like, if you just feel reassured, like they're okay, everything's okay. I think because of the news, a lot of people are very worried about New York City.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people are checking in with me, just being like, okay, are you okay? And I'm like,
yes, many people have checked in with me to see how you are.
Yeah.
Which is
That's good. Somebody says, my kids love to accompany me on walks. Maybe I'll do a morning walk alone. See, that's a great, well, it's nice that your kids like to go with you. But yeah, sometimes you need, I stop my walk and talks too. Oh, see, this is interesting. How many people are using their alone time in the shower? Because you and Elizabeth, you and I don't like a shower, but I think a lot of people like a shower because that's alone time. You can lock the door.
I am enjoying showers more during this quarantine because, and I'm taking long showers because it does feel like out of time. It feels like a separate little capsule. And like as if it's almost like it's not happening right now. While I'm in the shower, everything is normal.
Oh, interesting.
Because nothing is
we're
different
seeing lots
about
of thumbs up. Yeah, I think a lot of people. Yeah. Oh, yuck to the shower.
Although I know a lot of people are taking a lot of baths.
Oh. I don't have that bath taking instinct. Some
I don't
people
either.
do. I have a friend who is like the most proper banker that you would ever meet, and he won't go to bed at night. Like it could be 3 a.m. and he landed from an international flight, and he will not go to bed until he's taken his bubble bath. And it's like the funniest thing about him, because
that is hilarious.
If you met this guy, you would not picture him as a bubble bath guy. But I think some people, like, they need their bath. My father-in-law loves taking baths. They like put in a special bathtub in their apartment because he loves taking baths so much. I think you're just born with that bath. It's like, like write in the thing, bath versus shower. Are you a bath person?
Yeah, when it's here.
Yeah, somebody says, I agree. Showers are great away, alone time. Yeah, bath with Epsom salt. Yes. Epsom salt or Epsom salt or my 911. Oh my gosh, I feel like that's the advertisement. They're going to be calling you and being like,
yes,
testimonial for you. Bath. Okay, bath. See, this is interesting. Bath taking instinct. Yeah, bath. Oh, I like the emoji. Who knew? Love both. Oh, that's true. So bath.
Yeah, showers daily, but I love baths. I think people do feel like a bath is, again, it's one of those markers where some people feel like, now I'm relaxing because I'm in the bath, and it helps them unwind.
Yes.
They listen to music, or they read a book, or watch something.
Yes.
And it's that signal that they're now relaxing.
Well, and also
a lot of us need.
With my father-in-law, I think it came from the fact that he had a really bad back, and I think hot water would relieve it and kind of loosen those muscles, and so I think there's that aspect to it as well. But yeah, I think there is sort of, a bath has a more luxurious connotation, and often there is the bath salts and all that.
Yes.
I
wish I liked baths because I love all those bath bomb. Like, I think the term bath bomb is so appealing. Like, I would love to be like, oh, I'm going to use a bath bomb tonight.
Yes, right.
But I never take baths, so that I don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's saying it's like a spa. It's like a pretend spa experience.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Bath, cup of tea, and an audiobook. Oh yeah, see that does sound. It does sound great.
Does sound nice.
Okay, and here, not to be like, you know, I mean, a lot of something that we should talk about one day is snacking, because I think a lot of people are having trouble with snacking. And one thing is most people do not snack in the bath. So
That's
it's like,
true.
you can snack when you're driving your car. You can snack while you're watching TV. You can snack while you're reading a book. You can snack while you're doing practically anything. But most people do not snack in the bath. So it's kind of a snack-free zone if you want to be snack-free. So you know what I think, so we want to do the accountability challenge. So everybody write in the comments, is there something that you are wanting to be held accountable for? Put it here so we've got our eye on you. And give yourself a gold star if you've done something that you wanted to be accountable for. And especially given this conversation, write down if you want to be held accountable for making some time to be alone, whether that's in the shower or bath. Maybe that's going for a walk when you're not listening to something in the headphones. Maybe you're asking everybody else to go out on a drive and you're going to stay home. Like what would it be, so that if you do need to recharge your batteries by having that. I do think that some people, maybe many people, are starved for solitude. And so is this something that you want to be held accountable for? Because if you do, put it down there. And remember, this is look at all these gold stars. Wow.
That's great.
Well done.
So Gretchen, for my accountability, I was going to read a whole book this weekend. That's what I had. I didn't finish the book. I'm reading American Dirt, and I will tell you what happened is it's not like an easy read right now. I mean, it's pretty heavy. Even though it's fast, it's heavy. And normally I can sit and read for like 4 hours straight, and I'll just get through a lot of a book. But this one, I really don't want to read. Even though I like it, I don't want to read it for 4 hours. So therefore, I didn't get through it. Instead, I read part of it, and then I also watched about half of Tiger King, which everyone's talking about, this documentary series on Netflix. And
what's it about? Because I keep seeing it, but I don't
even know. It's about like, it's hard to explain, but it's about people who own tigers in the U.S. And it turns out there's more tigers supposedly in the U.S. than there are in all of the rest of the world in the wild. So anyway.
Interesting.
By the way, Gretchen, I am wearing an Onward and Upward t-shirt.
Oh, yay. That's great. Oh, wonderful.
Representing.
I didn't wear a theme shirt today. Oh, someone says they're reading The Happiness Project. Oh, that's so nice. I hope you're enjoying it.
Oh, no, yes. Someone earlier said they were listening to the Happiness Project because they were missing our daily thing. So they listened to the Happiness Project.
Oh, good. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, yes.
No,
Tiger King.
Did you have an accountability?
Well, my accountability I blew because I was going to watch 2 episodes of
That's
Mad
right.
Men. And here's the thing. I want to do it, and I feel like once I start, I'll be obsessed and I won't stop. But I was just reading, I was reading it's called An Odyssey by Daniel Mendelsohn, and it's a pretty intense book. And I felt like it was sort of just what I wanted. And I thought to switch to watching TV to me felt like a big kind of mind shift. And I was like, I'm getting a lot out of reading, so I'm just going to keep with the reading.
Yeah. Well, again, it was a fun accountability. Well, I was doing Friday fun personally.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So you could do what's fun for you.
But the thing is, I know that once I start Mad Men, I will love it as much as I love The Wire. I will love it as much as Game of Thrones because everybody says it's so good. And so I feel like I'm setting myself up for future pleasure. Oh, but here's a question. Very important. Is there a great Mad Men recap show? Because I missed all the conversation, and now I need like the binge mode of Mad Men.
That's a good question.
And you know what I mean? And I find that watching these things along with the recap thing is so fun.
Yeah.
Again, like
if there is, I'd love to know because I'll go back and listen.
Yeah. Oh, my book club is reading The 4 Tendencies. We have our Zoom meeting on Tuesday evening.
Great.
This is great. Oh, how many thumbs up if your book club has met by Zoom? I would be so curious to know that. Thumbs up if your book club is meeting. Oh, Gretchen Rubin's books are inspiring. Oh. Thank you. That's so nice to hear.
I have to have my accountability for today, Gretchen, is that I really want to start. Like, I finished the one episode that I was writing of something, and I want to really get a start on the next.
Oh, okay. That's great.
So, yeah.
So that's
I'll
huge.
do the two page thing again that I did a few days last week.
And what do I want to be accountable for? I want to be accountable for more reaching out. I really do feel like that is important, and I want to like keep that up because I do feel like that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, this is great, people. I read Tom and Lorenzo while Mad Men was airing. They had awesome posts about the costumes. Yes, I've heard that the costumes.
Great costumes.
Yeah.
Someone's asking if working at home has changed how I write. Yes, because normally I write in bed, and for some reason I haven't been. It feels weird. So I've been writing in my office.
And have you cleaned out your office more?
Not more. It's part clean. It needs a lot of work, but it's something I think Adam and I need to coordinate together because we share it. So we'll see. I think it'll happen eventually. In theory.
Someone says I want to reach out more. That's great. Yeah, I do feel like the more I do it, the more I realize the value of it, and the more I feel. I just feel more connected to the world. Yeah. Even though part of me just wants to like not do it. We did a thing on Saturday night where we had like met for a drink with some friends of ours who live in Boston. And it was great. And it was really great for my husband, Jamie, too. Like I realized it's good for me and it's good for him too. And it's good for us to be in contact with people other than ourselves. Yeah. So it's really good. It's a really good idea. So I'm gonna make a point to do that. Maybe set up a weekend again, like, oh, we'll have fun. Meet us Friday night for a drink at 8:30 or whatever. And then we just sit there and drink decaf coffee. But it sounds fun. Yeah. Or maybe we'll do like a theme.
Yeah. Yeah. Fancy shoe night.
Fancy shoe night.
That was fun.
That would be fun. Okay. So we will be back again tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Think of what you want to be held accountable for. We're going to ask you tomorrow.
Give your challenge is to reach out to one person you haven't reached out to yet.
Yes, exactly. Okay, everybody, let's keep our hands clean and our minds clear. Bye-bye.
Bye.